LiveStream. DeanZine LiveStream. DeanZine LiveStream. DeanZine.
Okie dokie. Hey, everybody. Welcome. It's Sunday, so it's time for my DeanZine LiveStream. And nice to see you folks. Let's see here. I see folks are joining, and let's see who's there. Also, I want to make sure my audio is live, unlike the show a couple of weeks ago where I forgot to put it on. Let's see. All right, Dennis Jones II. All right, here we go. Kate from Oxford, in Oxford with Karen Cottle. Excellent, excellent. These weeks are going fast. Hey, Chris, absolutely. Soon it will be Christmas. Lovely to see you. Lovely to see you too, Sue. Hey, Paul and Elaine and Jane and Sue. Andrew from Sheffield. Hey, guys. It's great to see everybody. You know what? While we're still starting the show, I encourage all of you, if you would, to just share this link. Share this link with all your friends. Tell them to stop on by and join us. We've got a real exciting show. Songs and silliness as usual. And a very special guest, the awesome, surreal, social justice punk poet, Attila the Stockbroker is with us, and I couldn't be more excited. He's going to share his wisdom and knowledge, and it's going to be great to speak with him. And I know you guys are going to really enjoy it and have a great time. And so, yeah, stand by. Let's see who else is here. Adrian from the Jersey, from the Channel Islands. You know, I don't think I've ever been to the Channel Islands because it's such a pain in the ass to get there, frankly, if you don't mind my saying. But I promise that once I'm back on the road, I will make every effort to get there because, after all, I'm from Jersey. Just the New Jersey, not the original Jersey. Dave, it's your first time? Oh, listen, this is as slick as it gets. But just what you're seeing right now, that this is the slipshod, ramshackled level of production values that you can expect through the rest of the show. So I hope you are not disappointed. Hey, Paul from Sussex. Hey, Sue. And Kate and Jan. And all you good folks. Well, I'm delighted to see everybody here. And I see everyone's hopping on board. Hey, Gordon. How you doing, pal? It's good to see you. All right, so anyway, I have muddled along enough so far. I might as well start by playing a song. So let's see what we got here. Okay. Let's see. This is some office songs for grown-ups. Lately, if you've been ignoring the political headlines, a lot of strange things are happening in the sky. We got a comet in the sky. We got Elon Musk throwing up satellites every which way. And so there's a lot of celestial happenings that might be cause for concern. You know, in the old days when the comet would go streaking across the nearby galaxy, and it would be a harbinger potentially of doom. And who knew what was going to happen? And usually strange things did happen. And but it did occur to me one time years ago as I was flying 30,000 feet across the pond, heading to your neck of the woods, where a lot of you were there. I saw, well, it had to be a satellite because it was flashing on and off, if it wasn't some kind of UFO, but who knows. But it occurred to me that these days, our future might well be predicted and affected more by our man-made satellites than by those celestial bodies and comets and whatnot. Looking down on the earth's crust, watching the last sunset. Just a sprinkling of stardust, orange and violet. To the east in the autumn sky, blinking on and off like a firefly, sailing south in silence like a supersonic spy. And I'm wishing on a satellite, wishing on a satellite. Wish I may, I wish I might have the wish I wish tonight. Wishing on a satellite, wishing on a satellite. And if I do it just right, sure to be a smooth flight. Heavenly bodies hurtling through space, orbiting oddities, guarding the human race. Silver centuries of the stratosphere, trying to keep the peace on a new frontier. Pray for their success, or we'll all disappear. I'm wishing on a satellite, wishing on a satellite. Wish I may, I wish I might have the wish I wish tonight. Wishing on a satellite, wishing on a satellite. And if I do it just right, it's sure to be a smooth flight. Platinum prophets circling the earth, and the light bouncing off it announces a Savior's birth. Time for a moratorium, 'cause who can say for sure if the Messiah will ever come? We can be bathed in darkness for the next millennium. Man, I'm wishing on a satellite, wishing on a satellite. Wish I may, I wish I might have the wish I wish tonight. Wishing on a satellite, on a satellite. If I wish I might have the wish I wish tonight. Wishing on a satellite, wishing on a satellite, wishing on a satellite, wishing on a satellite. So let's see here what we got going. Hey, Kenny McAllen from Bonnie, Scotland. Appreciate that. Thank you, Sonia. Hey, Karen from Jersey, Paramus alumni. Ken from Compita, Spain, as usual, every Sunday. That's really cool, man. Glad you could join us. Historians studying this year will have the benefit of 2020 hindsight. You know what, Paul? That is disturbingly profound. Thank you, guys. Let's see what else is going on. Oh, all right. Well, I always hate giving any airtime to the asshole I'm about to reference, but sometimes you just can't help it. And so I suspect all of you have seen the latest ridiculousness where our erstwhile commander-in-chief was boasting about his great mental acuity, his ability to remember 5 disparate items in a series. It was just so mind-boggling, idiotic, that much as I tried to avoid it, I was compelled to do this. If you don't know what I'm referring to, the first few seconds of this Fox interview should illustrate it, followed by my response.
So it's person, woman, man, camera, TV. Okay, that's very good. If you get it in order, you get extra points.
People asked if I was all there mentally, so they had to take a test of my mental acuity. Now the results are in, and plain for all to see. I said, person, woman, man, camera, TV. That's right, person, woman, man, camera, TV. I passed with flying colors, golly gee. The elephant in the room was me. I said, person, woman, man, camera, TV. All the doctors were impressed when I sat down to take the test. What do you know? Who would have guessed? My neurons and synapses are the best. Oh, person, woman, man, camera, TV. I guess no one has a bigger brain than me. I am a stable genius. That's no hyperbole. Person, woman, man, camera, TV. When I took the test and passed it, everyone was flabbergasted. I answered each question when they asked it. I wish they could have simulcasted. Person, woman, man, camera, TV. It's clear I've got the greatest memory. They even gave me extra points. Whoopee! I said, person, woman, man, person, woman, man, person, woman, man, camera, TV.
Yes, I know, this is disturbing. You're telling me? Yes, it couldn't be more disturbing. I wish I hadn't seen that at all. What do you mean? Yes, I can't tell you how disturbing that image is and will continue to be. What do you mean, Liz? Yes, please. Don't get in back of me, please. Don't follow me that way. Okay, I won't. Bear with me a second while that mask you may remove. I shall indeed. Thank you. I appreciate that endorsement. All doomed. Yes, I'm afraid we may all be doomed. There's no getting around that. And yes, very disturbing. Leslie, hey Leslie, how you doing there? And thank you, I appreciate that, everybody. Well, I'll check later because sometimes this video gets abbreviated. I know. I'm gonna I'm gonna play a song on the piano. Seeing as that despite all the craziness, it's still summer. And I don't know. I just like this song, so I keep playing it. Me and Mike hopped on our bikes with baseball cards flapping in the wheels and drove to the top of Farview Heights and coasted to the bottom, and you know how that feels. With Slim Jims in our pockets and cattails in our hands, we both took off exploring the vast, uncharted lands. Where did they go, those summer days? I miss them so, those summer days. I'd like to know those strange, easy ways, those warm and breezy, lazy summer days. Fast as we could, we'd head over to the woods, running up and down the trees like a couple of squirrels. And just for a lark, we'd head over to the park and we'd tear around the playground where we'd chase the little girls. And we'd take away their jump ropes and they'd giggle and they'd shriek, and we wouldn't give it back until they gave us both a peek. Where did they go, those summer days? I miss them so, those summer days. I'd like to know those slow and easy ways, those warm and breezy, lazy summer days. Now I'm all grown up, I'm no longer just a pup. I got a 10-speed in the basement I haven't seen in years. Mike moved west and I've got his new address, and it's somewhere in my files if it hasn't disappeared. And everything's okay and I really can't complain, but now and then I wonder how come life's just not the same. Where did they go, those summer days? I miss them so, those summer days. I'd like to know those slow and easy ways, those warm and breezy, lazy summer days. You had friends who lived off of Farview Avenue. That's right. That's where coasting down the hill off of Farview Avenue to Gordon Drive. That was dangerous, especially in the winter on sleds. That was insane. So you're right, Andrew. I think I need a bigger studio. Thanks, Trace. When the Trump visitor, she wore brooch with Obama's gift. If you ever saw her, ooh, that's very good. Okay, she was signaling. I'm pleased to hear all that. Let's see. What's next on the agenda? Well, I'll tell you what. You know what, folks? I know I do a lot of silly stuff, but every now and then we like to do something to raise people's kind of social consciousness and awareness, to address serious matters, things that it's a curious time because we're not getting very good information from the government as far as getting out and about and how to do it safely. We still should have the whole world on lockdown. Some people are doing it better than others, and certainly the two supposedly most developed Western nations are doing the worst of everybody. I wonder why that is. But I'm going to bring on some regular guests, and we're going to share some, I know they're going to share some useful information for when you travel, particularly in these precarious times, things that you need to be aware of. Everybody, please welcome our good friends, the Scottish Falsetto Sock Puppet Theater. Hey, Socks!
Well, hello, Dean. Hello, and so am I, and so is he.
And so am I. I mean, well,
You're talking about traveling, and we've got a very interesting story about traveling, have we? It's your story. Do you remember? Oh, yeah. There's a story. What happened, you see? A long time ago, I went to prison. You went to prison. We did a whole hour-long show about it. You must recall. Oh, yes. Minging detectives. You don't have to trouble yourself with our hour-long show about prison and cops. But yes, you told the story about coming back from prison. I did. And I made this story into a song. Now, Tony Orlando and Dawn did a version of this song, but they got the words totally wrong. If you'll indulge us, Dean, I'd like to tell you all the story of how I made my way back from prison on the bus. Go and get the pop.
Okay, absolutely. Here they are, the Scottish Wholesale Sock Puppet Theater with important information.
I'm coming home, I've done my time. But this bus I'm on should have been home by 9. If you've received my text, you'll know I've been on board all day. And sadly, I have drunk 8 cans of Carlsberg on the way. I want them to stop, so I say, I want to do a whittle of an oak tree. It's been 8 long hours. Won't you stop for me? If I do a whittle of an oak tree, I'll be stuck on this bus. Although I am busting, it'll go down my knee. If I don't do a whittle of an oak tree. Oh, driver, please. Bus driver, please have a heart. I've crossed my legs and adjusted a dangerous fart. I really need a Jimmy, and if I believe that Trump, the whole bus is in danger if I do not do a dump. It was a noxious pump. I want to try a yellow whittle up an old tree. It's been half a day, I'm losing a kidney. If I don't do a whittle up an old tree, I cannot vouch for the state of this couch and its upholstery. If I don't do a yellow whittle up an old tree, I'm touching cloth. Oh God! Oh no! Oh dear! Now the whole damn bus is clear, except for a pool of diarrhea. Will you let me do a whittle up an old tree? I'm gonna poke. Is that it? Is that the best song you could come up with for the opening of a show? I'm embarrassed. Shut it. Chorus. Do a whittle up an old oak tree. Do a whittle up an old oak tree. Do a whittle up an old oak tree. Thank you. Thank you. Awesome.
Thank you, Dean. Yes, we brought our own special effects, and you'll have noticed we brought our own audience tonight. We thought it couldn't be hurt.
That was very that was very impressive. Not exactly what I had anticipated, but I certainly would say that qualifies, along with useful medical information, to not drink too much on a long bus trip, or you will tax
that's what we wanted. We were
your
simply
bladder.
providing a public service.
And you know what, Socks? We're grateful to you for that. And I don't want people to get the mistaken impression that this is all, frivolity, because it's not. Because there are serious undertones and underpinnings.
There certainly are, all over the floor of this bus.
Okay, all right. Well, Socks, we'll chat some more. So why don't you take your bus and park backstage for a little bit, and we'll see you in a little while, all right?
Okie dokie.
Okie
Driver!
dokie.
Oh, no, he's over there. Driver!
See ya.
Vroom, 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 vroom.
Sorry. Yes. That was fantastic. Go Sox. Yes, grossly hilarious, I think, is appropriate. Cracking song. By the way, just so I don't forget, and we'll say it again later, I want everybody to know that I'm real excited to mention that the Scottish Falsetto Sock Puppet Theatre are doing their own all-request Zoom concert coming up on, I believe it's Friday, July 31st. Friday, July 31st. And I'll send, we'll do it, we'll get, when their socks are back, we'll ask them about a little more of it. They can tell you about their all-request Zoom concert. And I hope all of you will go check out their Zoom concert. Because, as you know, the socks are awesome. And let's see what else. Oh, we do have a contest to do. Let me just see if I have what I need. I'm not sure I do. Also, if you're joining this show for the first time, and friends and supporters of Attila the Stockbroker, welcome to the DeanZine LiveStream, and glad you could join us. The great Attila Stockbroker will be with us in really just about a minute once I have another sip of this to wet my whistle. Okay, that's wet enough. Everybody, I am extremely proud and delighted to be able to welcome to the show a true legend, a punk poet, philosopher, who's going to share his insight and wisdom and bestow upon us his unique perspective on the strange goings-on and planets that we're all sharing. Did I say plural planets? I meant planet. But that's, I'm sure for some that's a matter of opinion. Anyway, everybody, please, like I say, give a warm welcome to Attila the Stockbroker. Hey, Attila.
Hello, Dino. Nice to see you again. I've got to say, I just explain briefly here. My wife Rabina is a huge Dean Friedman fan. Has been ever since so the record check came out. And when we met, I regaled her with my version of the Mighty Half Man Half Biscuits, the bastard son of Dean Friedman, since I'm a huge fan of Half Man Half Biscuit. We intermingled on a cultural level on the two issues, and basically because I love my wife very much, and I actually got a soft spot for some of Dino's stuff too. I organised 2 gigs for Dino in the early part of the 2010s, around the time of our wedding anniversary at our local Rope Tackle Arts Centre in Shoreham. And that's how we met, and we got on really well, and he's a lovely guy.
And you had me for dinner, and it was delicious with a birthday cake.
It tasted really nice, and it was and it's good fun. And and my co-conspirator in the Battle to Save Brighton Hove Albion Football Club, Mr. Paul Samra, who is watching right now, who is as big a huge fan as Rabina is, sends his regards as well. So it's lovely to be here, mate.
It's great to see you, man. And a belated happy birthday, because just a few days ago, Rabina's birthday.
It was Rabina's birthday. It was on the 23rd, and during our screen test, we sang happy, or you sang happy birthday to her, which made her day.
I'm pleased indeed, and I'm really glad that you could join us. And I've been enjoying your live streams, and you are out and about in the country, and it's kind of hard to characterize what it is that you do, because
it's really so difficult for us all right now. I mean, I'm used to doing 100 gigs a year. I'm a performance poet who also plays punk rock and it also loves early music. So I play a mixture of punk rock tinged with early music, which is quite sort of radical politically. But I also do lots of silly stuff. I love the sock puppets. It was absolutely brilliant. It reminded me. I mean, you know what we have? I mean, I'm sure you have them in the States as well. We have replacement bus services sometimes. I mean, so you're doing a gig late, in my case, right? You're doing a gig late at night in London. Now, I drive all over the country for my other shows, but in London, it's more central just to go on the train, take a bit of merch and the mandola, my instrument, you'll see in a minute. So you're going on you go up on a train, which has the toilets and everything. So then you're coming back on what's supposed to be the last train after a gig, but it isn't a train, it's a blooming bus because they're doing engineering works. So you're on a bus for like 30 miles and you've had 7 pints at your gig and and it's just no. So everything, I mean, I have seen the river, but not generated by me, but I've seen the river. As the bus goes up the hill, the river moves towards the back of the bus, and as it goes the other way, it comes down the front. So there you go.
So the socks had it right.
The socks
Verisimilitude.
The socks are superb. I actually thought the Scottish Socks Puppets were a Dean Friedman ventriloquist act when I first saw them, but I realised this is not the case. I thought you obviously you play a lot of instruments and you're a very talented songwriter. I also thought you were a ventriloquist who did accents well, and they put pegs on your testicles occasionally.
I know the socks are an entity in and of them unto themselves.
Yeah, they are. That's great.
With no equal, but as you are, and it's. I remember the first time we met, and you got on stage, and you recited one of your awesome poems, and just blew me away. And you've been, doing this all over the world. And you have this huge constituency of people that love your work. I was saying it's hard to characterize it is because I've been really enjoying, the sort of early music that you've been doing. Just like you described it as, what the Pogues do by fusing Irish folk music to punk. You're doing the same. In your own world, and musicianship is awesome.
I play a lot of. I mean, this is the corner muse, right? Okay, if you castrate a bagpipe, okay, if you take the really annoying part off a bagpipe, in other words, the bit that makes the noise, right?
Yeah.
Then what you got is this. There you go.
You know what? I have an earpiece in here which favors high frequencies, and
right.
I think you just totally erased part of my memory.
Sorry.
No. I appreciate it because that's a part of my memory I didn't mind losing.
There's a lot of bits of memory that the entire American continent and our continent need to start losing very soon. Given most of the people, and I said the continent, not just the United States, because obviously we got the three biggest absolute bell-end scumbags. I mean, Trump, Johnson and Bolsonaro, obviously coincidentally the three, parts of the world where this horrible, ghastly thing that is killing so many people and depriving people of livelihoods and meaning that people like you and I are doing what we love in this strange, weird way, which we're all getting used to, but it is really odd to do. It should have been handled in a completely different way. So anyway,
it is kind of mind-boggling. I mean, without descending too much into it, you're a man of the people, and you the songs that you sing and the poetry that you write, it really does support and celebrate the working man and woman and social justice and
Yeah, I mean,
you're not shy about it.
No, I know. I mean, I'll go wider than that. I'm for progressive people of all kinds. I mean, I support progressive thinking people, whatever background they come from. That's that's my basic message. And that's what I've always done. But yeah, absolutely. I mean, I stand against exploitation and all the bollocks that's going on. But most importantly, at the moment, I stand against the fake news and the lies and the control by 4 unelected billionaires run our bloody media in this country, and the same thing happens in the States. And what is presented as news and information is simply a lot of the time just filtered to benefit the interests of a tiny minority of people. So,
there's no answer, but I just can't help but wonder how the hell we wound up in this mess. Australia, I used to think Australia was a lovely, idyllic place filled with kangaroos and koala bears. And yet, they sent us Rupert Murdoch. And look at the damage he has done all over the planet. How did this all happen? Anyways.
Well, I mean, if I could actually do it. I in your honour, I'll do an old poem later on when I start, but about Rupert Murdoch and his baleful influence on the world. But should I do some poems for you now?
Please do.
Okay, here we go. First one's it's my coronation. It's rather topical, obviously, at the moment, and it goes like this. This little rap's here to inspire us not to get coronavirus. Lady Gaga, Miley Cyrus, they don't want coronavirus. It's a disease coming on the breeze, and none of us would like it, please. It's a disease coming on the breeze. Piss off, Trump. It's not Chinese. Bloody hell. It's a pandemic running through the world at a rate systemic. Let me spell out my position. I'm 62 with a lung condition. Let's all work hard to avoid it till researchers have destroyed it. Don't get cranky. Don't be a fogey. Use that hanky. Bin that bogey. This little rap's here to inspire us not to get coronavirus. Lady Gaga, Miley Cyrus, they don't want coronavirus. It's a disease coming on the breeze, and none of us would like it, please. It's a disease coming on the breeze. Piss off, Trump. It's not Chinese. Please be kind and give assistance. Always do it at a distance. Get your normal shopping done. There's enough for everyone. Panic buying stupid caper. Put back all that toilet paper. What a stupid shit idea. Local pub delivers beer. This little rap's here to inspire us not to get coronavirus. Lady Gaga, Miley Cyrus, they don't want coronavirus. It's a disease coming on the breeze, and none of us would like it, please. It's a disease coming on the breeze. Piss off, Trump. It's not Chinese. A new dance called the Pontius Pilate. Time we all learned to freestyle it. Water, hands, and a bar of soap, cleaner than a microscope. No, don't scratch your dirty bridge, then go down and raid the fridge. Please keep safe. Please keep well. Coronavirus, go to hell. Cheers. That's for you, Dean.
Awesome. Yep. And I'm waiting for one of these reporters during these White House press conferences, because every time he says, China virus or his idiocy with Kung Fu virus, they should ask him about the Trump virus, because if he's so into branding and demonizing people, he should have some of his own.
It takes a lot for me to feel sorry for Theresa May, the former Prime Minister. Prime Minister. But when Trump arrived for the first time and took her by the hand, I just for one tiny millisecond, I felt a tinge of sympathy. It disappeared straight away, mind you. But I wrote this. Theresa the appeaser met the lady garden squeezer. Her brain was in the freezer. She treated him like Caesar. He's a really dodgy geezer. Tell Queen Liz if he sees her, grab his knob with a tweezer and revoke his fucking visa. Cheers. There you go.
I couldn't agree more.
Take this off. If you think that I'm an arsehole and I spout a load of crap, put down your pint or cup of tea and do the Johnson rap. If you think I'm a dickhead with an eye for the main chance, then celebrate this brand new verb and do the Johnson dance. Wave your arms around, talk bollocks, testiculate, testiculate. Wave your arms around, talk bollocks, testiculate, testiculate. If you think I'd do anything to stay in number 10, say one thing, then the opposite, then the same first thing again. If you think I'm a spaffer, a rich entitled toff, vote Labour and then tell me we're going to cut you off. Wave your arms around, talk bollocks, testiculate, wave your arms around, talk bollocks, testiculate. And when I see that you're not fooled by endless streams of lies and carefully dishevelled hair and slightly open flies and crap O-level Latin and ghastly fourth-rate pun, I go straight into Dalek mode and yell, get Brexit done, testiculate, get Brexit done, testiculate, out of control. Cheers. That's the belly. Absolute fine.
That was eerily hypnotic.
Yeah, absolutely.
That was awesome.
So,
well, everyone's loving it.
hang on a second. I'm just going to. I'm going to do the Rupert Murdoch poem.
Oh, please do. Yes. All right.
I've got to find the right book it's in.
All right. I'll wait for you to get back.
Hang on. It won't take long.
Take your time.
A while. Here we go. I've done this one for a while, so I've got to read it. This is. I don't know whether you're aware of this, but many years ago, Rupert Murdoch's company managed to gain control of the of William Collins, which has the rights, well, in the UK anyway, the imprint rights to the Bible. Okay, and given that Murdoch is Midas in reverse, everything he touches turns to shit. I thought that very soon there would be a new revised version of the Bible, and I have it for you now. The Bible according to Rupert Murdoch. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was gotcha. And the Lord Rupert said, let there be a royal family. Let enormous quantities of trivia and drivel be written about them, yea, even unto the point where a mentally subnormal yak couldn't possibly find it interesting anymore. Let babies be born unto this royal family. Let the huge swathes of sycophantic, nauseating sludge written about them surpass even that written about their parents, even though these babies and their parents are about as interesting as a wet afternoon on the terraces at Selhurst Park. Now, Dino won't understand that. It's an English soccer reference. Well, Brighton, we're Brighton. Selhurst Park's Crystal Palace. We don't like them. Okay. And the Lord Rupert said, let there be soap operas. Let each of these soap operas be so mind-numbingly moronic as to make a wet afternoon at Selhurst Park seem a truly uplifting experience. And let entire forests and the ecological balance of several continents be destroyed in the endless vistas of retarded outpourings about these unspeakable transmissions. And let there be enormous breasts and endless bonking and hours and days and weeks and months and years of chauvinistic right-wing propaganda written by semi-literate, sexually inadequate craven toadies, so that the brain-dead prats are at the bonking and the soap operas and the breasts and the royal stories get the politics as well. And let any journalist who tries to stand up to the editor and proprietor in the name of truth and intelligence and integrity and journalistic standards be summarily dismissed and cast forever into a bottomless pit of decomposing chimpanzee smegma. And let those journalists who suffer this fate rejoice at the great career move they have just made. And the Lord Rupert looked at his work, and even he saw that it was a load of crap. But this was the enterprise culture, and it sold millions, so it was good. And on the same basis, he decided to take over the television too. And the earth itself wept. And little robins vomited. And cuddly, furry animals threw themselves under trains. And the whole thing was filmed by Sky Channel for a horror nature program. And the most awful thing of all was that this was just the beginning. Cheers. Hang on, I'm going to turn the light off. It's turned it on to find my book, but it needs to be turned off again. There we go. That's better. That's better, sort of visual-wise. So yes, indeed. I mean, and the ludicrous thing is that this is called freedom of the press. That basically the freedom of 4 unelected billionaires to control 90% of the media in this country. And I know it's slightly different in the US. I mean, we saw, my wife and I saw some of it. Saw the Post, the Spielberg film last night about the rise of the Washington Post and the battle they had with the Vietnam papers. And obviously freedom of the press is important if it is freedom of the press, but when it's basically just a load of sheep being told what to think, then amplified in social media by the same sort of thing, where vested interests put huge amounts of money into proposing points of view to get people to vote against their own economic and social interests. I mean, this Brexit thing, basically. When we come out of the EU, the people that are going to suffer the most in many cases are going to be the people that voted for it, and the people that are going to benefit from it are a tiny little swathe of hedge funds who are literally, people that are betting on the sort of economic disasters that are going to happen to make money for themselves. So betting against their own country, and these people portray themselves as patriots, and the people that wander around with their Union Jack T-shirts on, supporting Brexit, thinking they're doing, that they're supporting the country and doing something for British independence. What, in fact, they're doing, we're selling out our heritage to hedge funds and speculators, and we're going to be, and this transatlantic agreement, which is coming up with Donald Trump and the most vicious right-wing, horrible, parasitic bunch of capitalists in the bloody universe, is going to devastate our health service, and it's a complete scam, it's a complete con, the whole thing. Anyway, shall I do something less political?
Absolutely. I was going to say it defies logic, but then again, our mere existence defies logic. But I'd love to hear what you got for us next.
Well, okay, this is a bit of existence that defies logic in some senses.
Okay.
This is a mind-boggling true story, which I've written this poem quite a while ago at the time of the commemoration of the beginning of the First World War in 2014, obviously. Because the fact of the matter is that I owe my existence to the pandemic which raged across Europe at the end of World War I. Because my father, Bill Bain, who was born in 1899, was 59 when I was born, was in the trenches at the end of the First World War with the Civil Service Rifles in France in 1918. And during the last German advance, the trenches were overrun, and every single member of his battalion was wiped out, except for him, because he caught Spanish flu and was in the barracks recovering from it. So in other words, I and my brother, who's recently died, and all the relevant offspring owe our existence to that pandemic.
Wow.
And I'm going to do two pieces for you. Firstly, one for my father, and then straight away another one for my stepfather. This is a completely different sort of side of what I do, because I do write an awful lot of very personal, historical stuff as well. This is called Poppy's Poem. What passing bells for those who die as cattle? Only the monstrous anger of the guns. And so some lines to spike, centenary prattle. These words, a soul, survivor, soldiers, sons. My father Bill, born in Victorian England, the 6th of January, 1899. His stock, loyal London, proletarian doff cap. Aged just 18, he went to join the line. Not in a war to end all wars forever, but in a ghastly slaughter at the Somme. A pointless feud, a royal family squabble, fought by their proxy poor with gun and bomb. My father saved. Pyrexia, unknown origin, frontline battalion. He lay sick in bed. His comrades formed their line. Then came the whistle, and then the news that everyone was dead. In later life, a polished comic poet. No words to us expressed that awful fear, although we knew such things were not forgotten. He dreamed Sassoon. He wrote Belloc and Lear. When I was 10, he died. But I remember, although just once, he'd hinted at the truth. He put down Henry King and Jabberwocky and read me Owen's Anthem for Doomed Youth. What passing bells for those who die as cattle? Only the monstrous anger of the guns. And so some lines to spike, centenary prattle. These words, a soul, survivor, soldiers, sons. So my dad died when I was 10, which obviously for a 10-year-old was tragic. He died horribly as well. He had a brain tumour. Obviously, he lived a lot longer. He lived a lot longer than most of the fathers of people whose fathers died when they're 10. But it made no difference to me. I mourned him, and I missed a sort of male influence in my life. And when my mother was 14, she told me she was going to get married again. And I vaguely knew the bloke she was going to marry. He was in the same choir as her. And this is the story of a true story of my relationship with my stepfather. And in this time of pandemic, when we don't really know what's going to happen next, I just urge you, all of you, if there's someone out there who you know that you should be in touch with, who you know that you should say something to, who you know that you should apologize to or make contact with again, or kind of make your peace with, do it, because you never know what's going to happen. This true story is dedicated to my stepfather, John Stanford, and it's called Never Too Late. My father died when I was 10. And when she dried her tears, Mum met you in the choir. She'd known of you for years. I was so pleased when she told me that she would be your wife, and I looked forward happily to a new man in my life. But you were the classical singer who thought rock and roll was junk, and I was the bowling boogie boy who soon became a punk. You were the civil servant for whom everything had its place, and I was the left-wing activist out there and in your face. Yes, you were the head of the household, and I was the stroppy kid. We wound each other up for sure. We flipped each other's lid, but later we both learned so much, and something new began. And here's a poem I wrote for you, you decent, gentle man. So I went off to my own life, left you and Mum to yours. A few words about football, then the sound of closing doors. But the passing of so many years gave us both time to reflect, and slowly, oh so slowly, we forged a new respect. When you were ill the first time and found it hard to walk, I'd take you to the hospital and we would sit and talk. It felt so right and normal, and it was such a shame that it had taken all this time, both stubborn, both to blame. Because you were the head of the household, and I was the stroppy kid. We wound each other up for sure. We flipped each other's lid, but later we both learned so much, and something new began. And here's a poem I wrote for you, you decent, gentle man. When Mum came down with Alzheimer's, 5 years you cooked and cared, and we were round there every day, so many thoughts were shared. Your simple, honest loyalty, the vows you've made, you'd keep. No longer the big boss man, me, no longer the black sheep. Then came that day in hospital. The end was near, we knew. You told me, I do love you, John. I said, I love you too. You took my hand and squeezed it. Our eyes were filled with tears. The first time that we'd said that. It took 37 years. Because you were the head of the household, and I was the stroppy kid. We wound each other up for sure. We flipped each other's lid, but later we both learned so much, and something new began. And here's a poem I wrote for you, you decent, gentle man. It's never too late, never too late, never too late to say you love someone. And if it wasn't too late for me and John, then it's never too late for anyone.
That is awesome.
Cheers, dude. Thank
really,
you, mate.
Really beautiful, man. You know what? Before I forget, I just want to remind our viewers to discover all the things that you do and check stuff out, to send them your music and your poetry books and more. And I encourage them to go to Attila the Stockbroker.bandcamp.com. And
my main, sorry to interrupt, my main broadcast page is my Facebook page, which is facebook.com/Attila the Stockbroker.
And that's right here. There we go.
Right there. That's what, and I do regular. I've been holding off on my live. I do normally a live broadcast every week or so, but as importantly, I write huge amounts about current affairs, social issues, and put poetry on there too. It's kind of a living blog poetry site, and it's very interactive. There's a lot of people on there, and if you're opposed to the kind of bollocks which is going on right now, then you know, whether you're from the States or the UK or anywhere, then you're very, very welcome to join us. Because one of the things that happens on the internet is you get all this, especially social media, is you get all this confrontational, abusive kind of shit right? And my Facebook page is quite simple. The rules are quite simple. You're welcome on there, whatever your political views are, as long as you're not racist, not sexist, and you've got a brain, and you have a capacity to debate which is above that of a decomposing slug. And if you can do that, then you're welcome. So cheers, everybody. And yes, I've got there's loads of books of my poems, of the ones I've done today. There's my autobiography. There's all kinds of stuff. And there's the new Attila. I did this almost for a laugh, really. I did an Attila face mask with my trademark. This is my 40th anniversary this year. I've been doing this for 40 years. My trademark Attila face mask with the Red Star logo. I don't know how to put it on, but it works anyway. And it's so there's that as well. But anyway, yeah. I mean, the whole point about musicians. We're doing this. I mean, you all know this. I'm talking to the people out there now. I mean, It's incredibly difficult for us because we've done this for people like Dino and I. We've done this for like most of our lives, literally. And now for the first. I mean, I'm at home like with my wife like all the time for the first time like ever. And the brilliant thing is we get on fantastically. I mean, and I just like
that helps.
Oh yeah. Well, it's like it shows how strong your marriage is, and ours is wonderful. So I mean, it's brilliant. Anyway, because I say this is, I came to sort of know about Dino's stuff really through Rabina because she was really into it. I mean, I'd heard. I mean, I quite like Ariel, and I was Ariel, but I'm an old punk rocker. You know where we're going. But he's a lovely guy, and he's a great musician too. And of course, I've got every single thing that Half Man Half Biscuit have ever done, and I've put them on twice. So I mean, when I heard about the story about Dean playing with the Biscuits and then writing the bass tale, which is brilliant, absolutely, it's like that bit in American Pie, isn't it? Really, you know the bit I mean?
Remind me.
Well, you know the bit in American Pie where the bloke says to his son, when the son's asking the fight, he says, "What's it like, having sex?" He says, "It's a bit like when you go in." He said it's a bit like a warm apple pie. But then he literally tries this out. I don't know whether you've seen that.
Right.
He inserts his knob in an apple pie. Anyway,
absolutely.
It's lovely to be here.
Well, pleasure to have you here. And you know what? For the benefit of any viewers that might not be familiar with that particular song by Half Man Half Biscuit, I'm going to play a short video clip just to familiarize them with it. And bear in mind, my lovely wife Allison just bore our first child when this came out. I got a phone call from a good friend in the UK, and he said, "Dean, there's something you ought to know." I said, "What?" He goes, "Well, there's a punk band out of Merseyside that have a best-selling EP, and there's a track on it that's titled 'The Bastard Son of Dean Friedman.'" Now, I didn't believe him. I thought he was just pulling my leg until I landed at Heathrow Airport, and he showed me. There was the record. I should have grabbed it off the plane. And there he was, and at first I was a little nervous, as you can well imagine, until I did the math, and I calculated in order for me to have fathered this guy Nigel Blackwell, the lead singer for Half Man Half Biscuit, I would have had to have done so when I was 7 years old.
Yeah.
Now, granted, I was a precocious child, but not that precocious. So when I finally sat down to listen to it, and I'm going to play it for you folks right now. This is the video. The audio is the actual recording, and I grabbed some of the live performance, so it's a little out of sync, but you'll get a good idea. Here they are, Half Man, Half Biscuit, with Nigel Blackwell, lead singer, and singing "The Bastard Son of Dean Friedman."
So gleefully I went to tell my friends, but they said it was a lie, that she wasn't going to die. By the way, we got news for you. And they told me that the man I had always known as Dad hadn't met my mum when I was born. And they reckon that I am Dean Friedman, the bastard son of Dean Friedman. Fell behind with this bombshell on my mind. The art teacher said he understood, but he could only sympathise with the sadness in my eyes, even though he showed me his Magritte. And in the corridor of the beer I would shed a lonely tear, and ridicule flew at me from both sides, and they mocked me in my mocks and embroidered in my socks. The bastard son of Dean Friedman, the bastard son of Dean Friedman. Borussia Mönchengladbach. And you can thank your lucky stars that you're not the bastard son of Dean Friedman, the bastard son of Dean Friedman.
What you got to know, what you got to know, Dino, what you got to realise, Dino, is that, I mean, you know, this is the band who, I mean, they just take the piss out of everybody. I mean, I'll give you just a really short burst of another one. The singer out of Slipknot went to Rome to see the Pope. The singer out of Slipknot went to Rome to see the Pope. The singer out of Slipknot went to Rome to see the Pope, and the Pope said to his aide, "Who the fucking hell is Slipknot? Who the fucking hell is Slipknot? Who the fucking hell is Slipknot in relation to me getting out of bed?" There you go. I mean, they also made the best album title of all time, "Trouble Over Bridgewater," which is a place in the UK, if you didn't know. I mean, and you know, Who's Afraid of Virginia Wade? When I had my loft converted back into a loft, the neighbours came around and scoffed and called me retro. I mean, they're one of my favourite bands. And,
well, as you can imagine, when I first heard the song, I was a little taken aback. But once I listened to it, I became a huge fan of it. But I did swear one day that I would exact my revenge on Nigel Blackwell, and I did. And if you're willing, I'm going to ask you to help me out to perform this next song. I know you got your fiddle there. And I'm going to invite the Socks to come join us again. Hey, Sock Puppets, how you doing?
We are good. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
Indeed, yeah. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Dean, do you know who Borussia Mönchengladbach are?
I know it has something to do with the soccer club. Could you elaborate?
Correct. Borussia Mönchengladbach play in the Bundesliga, in the top German division, and they're quite well known. I mean, a lot of Half Man Half Biscuit songs are football related too, and I'm a huge soccer fan. So we, you know, and Nigel famously, because the Biscuits don't do many gigs, and they need to be persuaded to do gigs, not because Nigel was a huge fan of Tranmere Rovers, who were like right at the bottom end of the league in the fourth division. And the most famous sort of moment in their sort of strange, long, and very popular but totally underground sort of existence was when the very, very influential UK television programme, The Tube, in the mid-1980s, asked them to come on, and Nigel said no because Tranmere were at home, and they offered to film the match from the place he would be standing on the terrace and then play it to him and then flying back, and he still said no. So anyway, there you go.
A man of his convictions.
A man of his convictions.
Yes, absolutely.
This song, everybody, this song is really, I don't know if you've played it much at your gigs, but this is a really good song. And it's really funny. And it's a fitting revenge for a great calumny. So here we go.
There was a a humble baker. Spent all day making buns and cakes, rolls and loaves of bread and muffins. He loved his work, but it wasn't enough. He longed to offer up his heart to not just any tart, one of substance and of virtue. The suitable candidates were so few. Oh, Nigel Blackwell, pray please do tell, how could your parents risk it? Baker's son, born of a bun, half a man,
half a biscuits.
That's right. He longed to, he gently took her from the oven. Her sweet scent set off waves of loving. His eyes beheld her flaky crust. He thought I mustn't, but I must. Last Nigel's dad could not resist her. He held her close and then he kissed her. Before another word was uttered, his mama's buns were buttered. Nigel Blackwell, pray please do tell, how could your parents risk it? Baker's son, born of a bun, half a man,
half a biscuits.
That's right. And so please mark this poignant tale. Next time you see baked goods for sale, which proves true love defies convention, leads to couplings we can't mention. So it comes as no surprise, the needy baker's dough did rise. Some may scoff, deride, and scorn. From such forbidden love, Nigel was born. Ah, Nigel Blackwell, pray please do tell, how could your parents risk it? Baker's son, born of a bun, half a man,
half a biscuits.
Half a man,
half a man, half a biscuit.
Half a biscuit.
Cheers. Nice for you, Nige. Nice for you, Nige. Dino got his revenge.
That was awesome. That was awesome.
I tell you what, as well, I've always felt, Dino, a bit bad about Bette Midler in that song as well, because
I also to wish on her a lovely tumor.
I know. But no, I mean, he's a lovely guy. Obviously, you've met him. I mean,
I have indeed, and
just to let everybody know, because a lot of my mates know about this. Dino was playing in Nottingham the night after the Biscuits were playing, and he got in touch with them, and he sort of turned up, and you played on the Bastard Son of Dean Friedman, and you did your song as well, didn't you?
I did. I was a little nervous because their audience are all these big blokes, but by the second chorus, they were all singing along.
I loved it, absolutely loved it. There's a lot of Biscuits fans and now Dean Friedman fans too, so like me.
Well, I always enjoy meeting them at my gigs. So, John, stand by just for a minute, because while the socks are still here, I want to get them to tell our viewers about their upcoming All Request Zoom concert. Socks, tell me about it.
Thank you, Dean. Yes, on this coming Friday, July the 31st, we are performing our All Request Zoom party inspired by you, Dean. Yes, we stole the idea wholesale from you and your request show, and it is 7 o'clock UK time on Friday night. If you go to our Twitter @Falsetto Socks or our Facebook, you'll find we're all over it, and we would love people to come along. You get the chance to, in advance, tell us your favourite stuff of things that we've done, and then we'll totally ignore you. The way it's stacking up, it looks like statistically we will be totally ignoring 90% of requests because you can't fit everything into an hour. But we'll be doing a lot of stuff that people will like, and some new stuff, why ever not. Friday night.
Excellent. That's really wonderful. That's Friday the 31st. That's only a few days from now.
That's
7
right.
p.m. And you got all that information. Well, listen, I want to thank you, Socks, for dropping in and saying hi to us. And I look forward to seeing your All Request Zoom concert. And you guys be well. And we'll see you in a little bit, all right?
Thank you, Dean.
Take care.
Yeah, well, cheers, Socks. Cheers. Well done, mates. Yeah, they're good. Good, great.
I'm sorry, I cut them off so quick. Anyway, John, I just want to say thank you again. Do you have another poem you want to leave us with?
Yeah. Okay. I'll do. What shall I do? I'll do. Yeah. I'll do this one. This is my my valedictory. 40 years earning my living. You know, when people say to me, you know, you get in that situation, will say, "What do you do?" I said, "Well, I'm a poet." So, and that go. Well, yeah, but what do you do? I said, well, I've earned my living out of it for 38 years. We're doing it for 40 years. This is my 40th anniversary doing what I do. And I thought in the spirit of that, that I'll do a bit of grime. I don't know whether, I expect you probably know what grime is. It's a young people's sort of spoken word form. But I mean, as far as I'm concerned, everything's everybody's. So this is about me. It's about the spoken. When I started, there wasn't a sort of spoken word scene. Obviously, there was people doing spoken word because that's how we communicate with each other. But there wasn't a spoken word scene, and it's now everywhere. And I've seen it grow and develop. And this is about all aspects of it, really. And it's called 40 Years in Rhyme. And thanks very much to Dino for having me. 40 years in rhyme, 36 full time. I'm still in my prime. Life has been sublime. I could use some music. Someone else can choose it. It works me flow and you got it, won't refuse it. Maybe not the done thing. Maybe it's a young thing. I don't chat no gun thing. No make him joke un thing. I'm into enlighten, representing Brighton. Now we're in the Premier League. Who we're going to frighten? My age are southernmost. I'm from the Sussex coast. Hoser in the garden centre. Bread is simply toast. Don't give me no cup of tea when I'm getting uppity. Beer is my cup of tea. High specific gravity. Like the wind I'm blowing, like a river flowing. 40 years of knowing exactly where I'm going. 60 on the planet. Spoken word, I span it. Ranting verse, I ran it. Seagull, not organic. Old punk on a new trip. Not a special brew trip. Not a dissing new chip. Not a stiffing glue chip. Checking out fresh styles. Bringing tears and smiles. From the Outer Hebrides to the Seven Dials. Beer, I like it hoppy. Verse, I like it stroppy. Sometimes I get personal, but I don't like it soppy. I remember Brother D. Grandmaster was legendary, but U-Roy was the first to show. Toaster started off this flow. Ranting verse, reggae chat, hip-hop, grime and all of that. We're simply spoken word, voices shouting to be heard. Respect to my fellow man from Cooper Clark to Yellow Man, Stormzy, Tempest and Luke Wright. Spoken word is doing all right. When I began, there was no scene. Looking back on all that's been, 40 years of chatting rhyme, having a fantastic time. Thanks for listening to me. Check out my website and my merch page if you want to. Well done for Dino for inviting me. He's a lovely bloke. All the best. Cheers.
Thank you. It's such a pleasure, man. I really appreciate you being here. Everybody, Attila the Stockbroker. Go follow him and check him out if you aren't already. And it's a pleasure. And love to Rabina. And you take care. And I hope to see you soon down the line.
Absolutely, mate. Well, now I'm coming off the stage, as it were. Rabina will come up and join me and watch the rest of your show because, as you know, she loves stuff. As indeed I will. All the best.
All right. Take care, man.
Cheers.
Attila the Stockbroker. And remember, go follow him on Facebook.com, Attila the Stockbroker. You just got to love what he does. So that was a treat. Let's see. I got some business I got to take care of. And so bear with me a second. Yes. Last week's contest was to win a copy of my remastered, reissued 40th anniversary edition of Well, Well Said the Rocking Chair. And the contest question was, what in the deli song, what did the guy order on the side? And the answer to the question was coleslaw. With a tomato and some coleslaw on the side. So I got lots of people emailing in rather. Those are all the entries. And I'm going to now reach in and randomly and select somebody as the winner of the Well West of the Rockin' Chair Vinyl 40th Anniversary Edition LP. And the winner is... the winner is Eddie Collins. There he is. There's Eddie Collins. A good pal, Eddie, and that's excellent. And so I bet you already have a copy of Well West of the Rockin' Chair, but you can enjoy this one and share it with a friend. And if you don't happen to have a copy of the 12-inch reissued vinyl edition of Well West of the Rockin' Chair, you can order it right now on my website. And I got to say, remastered and cut with modern technology, as far as I'm concerned, this sounds better than the original. So do check it out. Let's see. Oh, you know what? I didn't prepare a contest for this week, so you're going to have to wait till next week. But speaking of next week, let me just do a little bit more business before I wind up singing one last song. And to say, let's see, bear with me a second. Well, first, of course, this show relies on your generous support. And so it's free to watch, but if you can pay what you like or not, and if you have the means and the inclination, you can make a modest or an immodest contribution to paypal.me/Dean Friedman or via Venmo at Dean Friedman Music. And that is much appreciated because, you know, it helps pay for supplies and guitar picks and cans of almond macaroons and internet bandwidth, which actually is the most expensive part of it. And also, anyone inclined to support on a more long-term basis, which actually means a lot if I can count on every month knowing what's coming in subscriber base, you can subscribe to my DeanZine at deanfriedman.com/subscribe. I'm going the wrong direction. deanfriedman.com/subscribe. I would never be a good weatherman because I don't have my chroma key right. Oh, you know what? I just got so carried away. There's so many cool things that I wanted to play that I missed out, but I'm going to play one if you bear with me a second because I know folks always enjoy this. I got two quick videos I'm going to play, and these are two videos that I know you always enjoy of Sam Friedman. One is playing piano, and then the other is playing piano with his accompanist. So here goes. Stand by. And of course, you know, you can follow Sam on TikTok or on YouTube. But here's one more of his videos, which has become very popular for reasons you shall soon see. Yes, that's Sam and one of the two cats, fatty or skinny. I don't know which one it is. I can't really tell them apart. Gee, this has been an awesome show. I might have time for a couple of songs. Let me see if I can squeeze those in here. So, oh, you know what? Let me just see what's going on here. Oh, I forgot to make the one announcement. Let's see. Me too. You can go back to work, but I haven't told you where yet. That's a good thought. Me too, Teresa. Sam. Cat's gorgeous. Yes, one important thing that I totally forgot to talk about. Let's see if I posted it here. Did I? I totally forgot. Did I? Let me think here. Oh, okay. No, bear with me a second. Let me correct this. I think that's right. Okay. Slipshod, ramshackled production. Yes, folks, next week, next Sunday at this time, oh, it's not my second, it's, hold on, I gotta fix that. It's oh, it is August 2nd, yeah. It's my Dean's third. Okay. I just confused the issue. All right, folks. Next Sunday, August 2nd, I'm doing my third all-request Zoom concert right here in the Honking Goose Studios. And it's a ticketed event, so you need to get your tickets in advance. And you can find them in the gig section of my website, deanfriedman.com. Just go to deanfriedman.com, click on the gig section. On the top, you'll see a link to the third all-request Zoom concert, which is on August 2nd, next week, 7 days away or 6 days away, however it is from a week from today. And you're all invited, and you're invited to bring your friends. And in fact, let's see here. Yeah, just get your tickets in advance, and in the process of ordering those tickets, you'll be prompted to suggest your 3 favorite songs, and I will compose a set list comprised of all those song suggestions, plus a few that I will throw in on my own. And we've done 2 before. If you haven't attended the first 2, it's really cool. It's a lot of fun. It's Zoom because everyone can see each other, and it's kind of nice having instant feedback and being able to see people's faces. I think you'll enjoy yourselves. So I encourage you to check it out. And I'll stop babbling. I just wanted to make sure I didn't forget to do all the things I'm supposed to remember without some producer talking in my ear. Let me try this song here. Some of you know that I went to an Orthodox Jewish yeshiva, a rabbinical school for a couple of years. I don't know what my mom was thinking. She had these romantic illusions about the education I was going to get there. Nothing could have been further from the truth. But I did make some good friends, and I got a little insight into the the mixed blessings of fundamentalist religions, which is that it can be beautiful and it can also be racist and awful, and it's a mixed bag like everything else. In any case, this is not an anti-religious song. This is just a kind of questioning song. God of Abraham, I thought we had a deal. We'd live as you'd intend, and you'd hold up your end. Something has gone wrong. You still have not come through. What are we supposed to do? God of Abraham, God of Abraham, we're still searching for the promised land. God of Abraham, God of Abraham, pray have pity on us lost here in the desert and sand. God of Abraham, answer this one if you can. These children that you love, what are they guilty of? What crimes did they commit? What evil did they do that they so displeased you? God of Abraham, God of Abraham, we're still searching for the promised land. God of Abraham, God of Abraham, pray have pity on us lost here in the desert and the sand. God of Abraham, God of Abraham, are you thirsty for a sacrificial lamb? What became of all your promises to man? Are you listening? Could it be you just don't give a damn? God of Abraham, forgive me if I'm wrong, but this suffering on earth has gone on for too long. Whatever did we do to make you so upset? Or did you just forget? God of Abraham, God of Abraham, we're still searching for the promised land. God of Abraham, God of Abraham, pray have pity on us lost here in the desert and the sand. Everybody, that's our show for today. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Thank you to the sock puppets for joining us and delighting us with their sock puppet antics. Thank you to Attila the Stockbroker for being so awesome and so generous with his time and sharing his work with us. And thank you, all you folks, for watching. And I appreciate it. And it's great to see you week after week. Next week, right here, all request, my third all request Zoom concert. I hope you'll all attend. It's always great fun. It's going to be a lot of fun too. And I got a week to learn the words to all the new songs. So anyway, everybody, be well, take care, and stay in touch. I will, let's see here while I figure out what I'm doing next. Yes. Everybody be well, take care. I'll see you next week.
DeanZine LiveStream. DeanZine LiveStream. DeanZine LiveStream. DeanZine.